Good morning and welcome to today's Smart Business Strategies podcast. I am Anna Wiles, the franchise economist. Thank you for being here. Join me in welcoming our special guest today, Dwayne Tanner, with the amazing Belfour Franchise Group. Dwayne, welcome to the show.
And thank you so much for having me and allowing me to be part of this experience.
You know, I've been looking forward to this because people have so many preconceived notions about home services, and I can't wait for them to hear about the lucrative, scalable, essential service that Ductz, an HVAC company, offers. So, audience, listen up. Dwayne, start us off and tell us a little bit about you and Ductz.
Yeah, so I'm a long timer within the franchising space. Been in it since 1992. You can tell by the gray hairs here above me, but it's all about Ducks. So Ducks was a brand founded in 2002 and became part of this thing called Belfour Franchise Group and was the original brand for that back in 2007 after getting to know the Belfour properties restoration companies in about 2005 through the Katrina storm. So great brand, great opportunity. You know, one fun fact that I often share with some people about just ducks in general. Did you know that 90% of Americans' time is spent indoors? Spaces like this, right?
That's amazing. I did not realize that. I really did not.
Yeah, and Ducks is all about making sure the air quality, and whether it's your residential space, your commercial space, is to the standards that have been set for the government out there for us. And it's a big and growing business. We are the leader within that enterprise with about 70 franchises around the country and looking to grow for sure.
That's fantastic. So, Dwayne, share with the audience what differentiates Ducks from other HVAC franchises that are out there.
That's a great question. I love it. So the biggest piece that really differentiates the Ducks brand is going to be about the Belfour Property Restoration Company, right? So we are owned by Belfour Property Restoration, the world's largest property restoration company, doing about $3 billion in sales. Have about 12,000 employees around the globe, and just really all about being operational, right? So we're the only home services company that is owned by a company focused in with the experience around operations. So we pass along all those experiences, of course, to our franchisees. The second big piece is, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just about to say, for the audience who doesn't know about Belfour, it is the gold standard literally in the world when it comes to restoration. And I just can't wait for Dwayne to tell you more. So I'll be quiet and you share the good news about Ducks.
Yeah, so Ducks is part of the Belfour Franchise Group, which is a family of 14 home services brand, mostly focused on property restoration. And Ducks is really a brand that allows you, without having your phone be on ring 24/7, it allows you to get into the property restoration space. But being part of the Belfour Franchise Group and our over 3,000 franchises around the country really affords you the opportunity to build relationships, right? We host what we term market domination meetings around the country. We did over 100 last year, these things, where we bring together the Belfour property restoration offices with our franchisees from all the brands. They get together in one space. They talk about the business. They talk about best practices. And most importantly, they talk about how they can refer businesses back and forth to one another, building our book of business, building relationships, and making sure that we're successful out there.
That is so unique. I mean, 14 sister brands, and they can all refer business back and forth to each other. It's just amazing. So, Dwayne, help dispel the myths that surround what the day in the life of a franchise business owner of Ducks is like. What is he or she spending their time doing? Who are they interacting with? Paint us a picture.
Yeah, so there are really two paths to the franchise ownership piece for the Ducks brand and all the brands in the Belfour Franchise Group umbrella. The main role of the owner is really going to become, as I think I may have termed it, the mayor, right? So it's about building relationships. It's about getting to know the community and finding opportunities for growth. It's about marketing, right? And making sure that people know about the brand and whatnot. But it's most importantly about team building, right? This
Mhm.
person is going to be leading a team of folks who are going in the homes of residential people and in commercial spaces as well, and making sure we provide the right kind of service. So that's our typical operator. We have some who've sort of risen up through the ranks and started out as a technician and moved on to become more of that owner operator role and being more involved in the marketing. But we want someone who's going to be about the community. That's us.
Mhm. That's the ticket to success. So, what I really like is whether someone is operationally oriented and wants to be hands on, or whether they're more sales and marketing oriented, want to be the mayor of the in the town and be the face of the business in the local community. Either path is is the way to the pot of gold.
Right, right, right.
Okay, very good. All right, so here's another big myth. Please dispel it. Is any particular background or experience necessary to get to the pot of gold with Ductz? Do you have to have any, you know, do you have to come from home services or the construction industry or have HVAC experience to be a success?
You really don't. I mean, and part of that's based upon the fact that we are a premier training organization, right? We've actually written some of the standards for air duct cleaning around the country. We've physically written
Wow.
those policies for people. But we have, people who come to us from, heck, one guy from the Carolinas sold cars and car parts, right? But he loved his community. So he was able to come in, become that mayor, do the right job, and build a great business. We have someone else who was an accountant, and I wanted to be an accountant when I was growing up, right? You consider them pretty dry, right? But he
Right.
had the relationships and whatnot, was able to grow his business as well. So there isn't the need for that experience. What the need is for is a caring person and someone who wants to build relationships within that community.
Well, let's clarify. So to start off, it's my understanding that you want the owner to at least start in the business the first few months, learn the business, be hands on,
Right.
understand how it works, go up that learning curve. And then, as soon as possible, then start hiring technicians, growing the team, and then then that leads more to working on the business as opposed to in the business. But that would be an important first step. Is that right?
It is. I think it's so important that whatever the business that you're jumping into, that you understand the basics, the
Right.
mechanics of the business and how it's structured, how it runs, and really how you need to be making sure that you follow up on things. So those first couple of months are so important for building the baseline for the success of the franchise, for sure.
hmm And I just want to emphasize and have you share just a little bit of insight into the comprehensive training that Ductz provides its franchisees. So whether you want to be the mayor of the town and hire technicians as super fast as you can and manage and lead your team, but help them have a little comfort about not coming from the industry or construction or not even being handy maybe, but can still be a tremendous financial success with this business.
Yeah, I think I'll start with the investment that the Belfour Franchise Group has made within training, right? So over the last year, we've actually built a dedicated training facility in Ann Arbor, Michigan, where we'll house the training for all of 14 of our brands, to making certain that the facilities, and they're actually ducts. I wish I had some pictures of it, but they're actually ducts that you can be working on within that training facility, right? So, but our training doesn't just focus, it does focus on the operational piece of things, right? How we block and tackle to make sure that the HVAC systems and otherwise are protected, cleaned, and everything else. But there's equal training that's going to be placed on how we build a business, right? So those two components are so key to someone being successful in the field out there. Our team will have a dedicated coach too. So as you continue to matriculate through running and owning the business, you'll have someone walking with you hand in hand to make certain you take those learnings, right, and applying those to your business as you see it grow. So there's really not the need for experience. There's the need for someone being willing to listen, right? Because we've been through a lot. We've had a lot of franchisees come through and made sure they were every chance to be successful. But their willingness to listen and a willingness to see the bigger picture through things as well.
I love that you have dedicated franchise business coach to take someone from the working, being an employee to entrepreneur. That is fantastic. I love that. Underscore, exclamation point. Oh my God, know that about Ductz. And that too is another differentiator about it compared to other HVAC opportunities. Okay, so this show, Dwayne, is called Smart Business Strategies. What is
Okay.
a smart business strategy that Ductz uses that you'd like to share with the audience?
Wow. So I think this one might be across several of our brands, and it's sort of a way of life for us at the Belfour Franchise Group. But I can term it simply love your list, right?
Love your list.
Yeah. So Ducks has a unique opportunity of being a brand that supports some recurring revenue, right, through some of the things we do, but also a more commercial side of things. On the residential, it's about staying in front of those customers, right? They're going to use you year after year, and making certain they understand that Ducks is the brand that's needed to clean their systems. On the commercial side, and it starts with those market domination meetings, but love your people, right? They're going to be the ones providing all the opportunities to you. Make sure when they think about anything going on with HVAC, they think about Ducks. So love your list, stay in contact, work on that ability to communicate with them on an ongoing basis, and you're going to be successful.
It sounds like to me the key to success is not industry experience. You've done a good job of, putting that to rest, but it's more the personality and the skill set that you bring to the business. Someone who's maybe a good listener or likes people or wants to help people, be of service to others. Would you say that's maybe a pretty good way to describe it?
Anna, you are 100% correct. Right. If I could add one thing, franchising or business in general never is easy, right? But so when we find someone with all those other characteristics that has a level of grit, right? A level of, hey, I'm going to push through things. We find that to be a true determinant of making sure they're long-term successful.
Not their industry background, not what's on their resume, but that determination to see it through. And
amen, sister. That is it.
Grit. I love it. All right. Well, Dwayne, we are out of time. So if someone wants to learn about the fabulous, wonderful, essential, lucrative Ductz, what should they do?
Well, so and Anna, you've been doing this for a while, and you know what we're looking for in the people, and you know what the people are looking for as well. So I think if we can marry those two and communicate with you, I think we can do good things together and change some lives out there. But I just appreciate the opportunity to share a little more about the brand and how you can sort of dip your toe into the restoration space.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Dwayne. And audience, this is Dwayne Tanner, Vice President of Business Development or Franchise Development at the Belfour Franchising Group. Thank you so much for being here. It was a real eye-opening experience having you here, Dwayne. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. You guys be good out there. Work with Anna.
And audience, thank you for being here. And I want you to come back next week. You're going to hear, I have a consistent theme with this podcast: essential, recession-proof, scalable, lucrative service businesses with fat profit margins and low startup costs and low operating costs. They are on my show regularly, so come back next week. We got another one. It is equally as amazing as Ductz. Make it a priority to be here. You're not going to want to miss it. I'm Anna Wilds, the franchise economist. See you next Wednesday at 11:30 Eastern. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.